Story 1. The Intern Who Watched from the Shadows. Imagine this. It's 4:47 a.m. in late July, the hour when the city hasn't decided yet whether it's still night or already morning. The sky over Seattle is the color of a bruise. You're 21, half asleep, and something that has no business being awake drags you out of bed by the throat. You don't hear it, you feel it. A pressure behind the eyes, like someone else is using them to look into your room. You creep to the window, and there, 30 feet below in the wet grass, stands a man who should no longer exist in your life. He's staring straight up at you, perfectly motionless, smiling the same plastic smile he wore every day above a cubicle wall. And when he sees that you see him, he opens his mouth and sings your name in a voice that sounds like it's being played backward through a broken music box. That was the ending. This is how it began. 4 months earlier, I walked into the 32nd floor of the Meridian Tower for the first day of what was supposed to be a harmless summer internship at Vanguard Capital. The elevator alone cost more than my childhood home. Everything smelled of cold steel and money that didn't want to be touched. They gave us 8 interns badges that said temporary in screaming red letters and marched us to a corner of the trading floor that looked like a prison designed by IKEA. Low gray partitions, no natural light, a constant electric hum that settled behind your eyes after 10 minutes and never left. That hum became the heartbeat of the summer. The others were fine, loud, human, alive. Then there was Liam. Liam didn't walk so much as materialize. You'd be typing and suddenly the air would feel refrigerated. A shadow would stretch too far across your desk. And when you looked up, his head would be rising above the partition like a submarine periscope made of bone and cheap hair product. Pale neck elongated, chin tilted, eyes too wide, mouth fixed in a grin that never blinked. He never spoke normally. Always that syrupy, theatrical drawl, as if English were a second language he was mocking. Working hard, or hardly working. Casey, every syllable stretched until it snapped. He'd hold the smile until you answered, until you gave him the nervous laugh he was fishing for. Then he'd sink back down, but you could still feel him on the other side of the wall listening. By week 3, I timed it. Every single day, at least 4 times, the temperature dropped and the head appeared. Only for me. The others started calling it the Liam emergence. They laughed. I stopped sleeping. I began to notice things that didn't add up. His reflection in the darkened monitors never quite matched his movements. Sometimes when he walked past the glass conference rooms, the motion sensor lights inside wouldn't trigger. Once, I swear, I saw his shadow keep walking down the hallway, 5 seconds after he had turned the corner. I told myself I was exhausted. I told myself finance internships turn everyone a little insane. Then came the phone call. Thursday night, July 19th. I remember the exact date because it was the night Seattle streetlights flickered citywide for 7 minutes, and nobody ever explained why. I was alone, eating cold sesame noodles, when the landline I never gave anyone rang. The caller ID just said 000-000-0000. I answered. Silence thick enough to chew. Then breathing, slow, intimate, right against the microphone. And then that voice. Only now it was inside the room somehow, coming from every corner at once. The shadows are getting longer, Casey. They've learned your name. Better close the curtains before they finish learning the rest. A laugh detonated in my ear, raw, multi-tracked, like a theater full of people laughing in perfect unison. The lights in my apartment strobed once. The CI never gave anyone my landline. It wasn't even listed, all ended. I never gave him my number. The next Monday, his cubicle was a blank square of carpet and exposed cables. Our supervisor, Greg, looked like he'd aged a decade over the weekend. Liam had been separated Friday afternoon for performance issues, whatever that meant. When I told Greg about the call, He went the color of the partition walls. That should have been the end. It was only the overture. The next 3 weeks, I lived waiting for the other shoe to drop. Every notification made my heart stop. Every tall shadow on the street looked stretched wrong. I started taking the stairs because the elevator mirrors felt accusatory. Then came the morning that rewrote my nightmares. Friday, 4:47 a.m. I woke without transition, like someone had flipped a switch from sleep to pure adrenaline. The room was wrong, too dark, too quiet, the kind of silence that has weight. I went to the window. He stood in the exact center of my backyard, barefoot in the dew, wearing the same wrinkled white shirt and black slacks he'd worn the last day I saw him at the office. The porch light barely reached him, but his skin drank the glow and gave nothing back. He was staring up at my window with that same ventriloquist smile. And then he sang my name, not called, sang, a slow, minor key lullaby version that crawled up the side of the house and slid under the glass. Cassie! Each repetition lower, wetter, like it was being gargled. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then the laugh started, the same multi-track detonation from the phone call. Only now it was live and all around me, bouncing off the trees, the siding, the inside of my skull. I finally screamed that the police were coming, that I had a gun, that I would kill him, anything to make it stop. He tilted his head back until it looked broken, mouth opening wider than anatomy allows, and kept laughing as he walked backward into the pines. The laughter didn't fade with distance. It cut off the instant the trees swallowed him, like someone hit a stop on a recording. When the officers arrived 20 minutes later, the grass was bone dry. No footprints, no disturbance. Just a perfect circle of dewless blades exactly where he'd stood. I finished the internship because I'm stubborn and broke. I turned down the full-time offer. I moved twice. I still wake up some nights at 4:47 exactly, convinced the shadows in the corner of the bedroom are stretching, learning, getting ready to speak with his voice. Sometimes when I'm on a video call for my current job, I'll glance at the little preview window of my own face, and for half a second the smile looks wrong, too wide, too frozen, like it's not entirely mine anymore. I don't know what Liam was. I don't know what he wanted. I only know that some people don't leave when you fire them. Some people just step out of the light and wait in the places the light used to be. And every once in a while, when the clock hits 4:47 a.m. and the city is the color of a bruise, I swear I can feel the temperature drop 5 degrees and something on the other side of the wall starts to rise.